Hi everyone, I'm Michael Uriarte, or Dr. Mike, and welcome to Technique Talk, the MYK System, and more. This is episode 39 in our series of comparing and contrasting other techniques with the MYK system. Today, we're going to talk about the Activator technique. If you want more information on either technique, I have the website links in the description below. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I have a lot more videos coming. Whether you're a patient looking to get help or a practitioner looking for a good technique to learn, this series is what you need. Let's dive in. So who developed the Activator Method or the Activator technique? And it's Arlan Fuhr or Fuhr. I thought, to be honest with you, I didn't know the guy was still around. He's still around. He's doing podcasts. He's like 86 years old. He's doing podcasts. He's doing all kinds of stuff still. So that was really, really cool for me to see. And on it, he starts his podcast and he says, "This is Doctor," and it sounds like. It kind of sounds like Fuhr or Ford or Fuhr. But anyway, Fuhr is kind of how it sounds. F-O-E-R is kind of how it sounded to me, how he pronounced it. And I listened to 2 or 3 of them just to see if it sounded the same each time, and it did. So anyway, but we could call him Arlan. We could just call him, or Dr. A, Arlan. So anyway, but he's from Minnesota. So the guy's up from Minnesota, got his undergraduate training at the University of Minnesota, and then got his doctorate degree at Logan University in St. Louis in 1961. That's why I thought he wasn't around, 1961. So that's a long time ago. And then following his graduation, he served 2 years in the U.S. Navy. I got a buddy that served in the Navy after graduating from college. We call him Bones. And then he went out and served the country and then started a practice in another country. He's got some stories. I should probably interview him sometime. He should probably write a book as well because he's got some really cool things. But anyway, so to get back to Dr. Arlan, I'm gonna call him Arlan. So, okay. So he left there and then opened, went to the Navy and then opened his first office in Redwood Falls, Minnesota. So he got involved in treating veterans and stuff. I'm just kind of running through some things here. So why did he develop? I'm trying to figure out why he developed the Activator technique. And I may have to call the guy and see if he'll like talk to me and stuff and give me an interview. So, because that would be kind of cool, I think, to get the really the behind the scenes portion of, what motivated you to do this and get this. But I think based on what I could find so far, he wanted, he was driven by a combination of personal interest in healthcare and the potential for chiropractic to improve patient outcomes, especially for those unable to access traditional medical treatments. And so he really emphasizes the evidence-based practice, and he says data always wins. If you don't have data, it's called hall talk. I kind of like that. All right. So the reasons for developing the technique, I think it's a desire desire to provide a gentler, more reproducible approach suitable for patients who might find manual adjustments uncomfortable or unsuitable, such as those with certain injuries or elderly people or even with, kids. So this is supported by its widespread adoption with over 70%. I didn't know this. 70% of the chiropractors use the Activator technique. That's pretty big percentage there. So he's really into research. He's got over 150 peer-reviewed papers, over 150. So we have 7. We just hit 7. Woo! I was so excited when we got 7. That was just recently, just in the last number of weeks, we got our 7th peer-reviewed published article. So 6 of them are on our website. I'm going to get the 7th one up soon. But anyway, so he's got more than 30 clinical trials, with the first prominent study funded by the National Institute of Health in 1985, making it the first and only chiropractic technique to receive such funding. Wow, look at that. So the emphasis on scientific validation, as highlighted in his 2019 presentation at Logan University, suggests a goal to legitimize chiropractic care through data-driven methods, aligning with his belief in the necessity of research to back up claims. I love all of that. So he gets a little bit, there's a little bit into how much force. So it says the method focuses on low force adjustments, with studies showing a 140 Newton activator thrust, 140 Newton activator thrust, moving bones 0.3 to 1.6 millimeters, as compared to 1.1 millimeters for a 540 Newton manual thrust. So if you manually get adjusted, it's about 540 Newtons, and with the activator, it's about 140 Newtons. So it's a lot gentler if we take that approach. So in the 70s, he developed the handheld instrument for low force spinal adjustments, and let's see, it's gone through a couple of things. So the development was involved creating the activator adjusting instrument, categorized as a mechanical force manual assisted device. So an MFMA, mechanical force manual assisted device, MFMA. You could shorten it even less and just call it a MFMA, device. What is that? It's MFMA. It's a MFMA device. So that's how I'll probably remember it. MFMA. What's the activator? MFMA. All right. So it delivers a controlled, reproducible. Sometimes I say things just for my humor, guys. I'm telling you, that's why I do this, is just so I sometimes will crack a smile. So, all right. The method includes a protocol where chiropractors check the patient's functional leg length in the prone position. They use the device on various parts and recheck the leg length to assess the changes, aiming to resolve vertebral subluxations and correct apparent leg length discrepancies. This systemic approach was likely developed through clinical observations and research, with the doc's leadership in the Activator Methods International facilitating its standardization and disseminating through seminars and educational programs. All right, so it has versions. So we have the Activator 1, the Activator 2, and then it jumps to the Activator 5. So, man, that must have been a big change, because they went, okay, here's 1, here's a little difference, here's 2, and then, oh man, here's a huge difference. We're just going all the way. We're going to make this 5. So it's cordless. Oh, I see. So it's a cordless electronic Activator 5, because the other ones are just handheld, a little click, 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 click. And so it's not electronic on those other ones. So, okay. And it's a high velocity, it's a gentler adjustment compared to the high velocity, low amplitude manual chiropractic adjustment, such as the diversified, because diversified is hands-on. So if we compare that just a little bit with the myokinesthetic system. So the myokinesthetic system is more gentle, because we're not actually moving a bone. So we're just getting in and treating the nervous system from a soft tissue standpoint. We're trying to eliminate pain, restore range of motion, restore function back to the body, improve overall health is what we're trying to get to. And but we're going to do that from soft tissue. So manipulating the soft tissue, how are we going to group the muscles? The way we're getting into the nervous system is not through moving a bone, but through treating the muscles and then grouping those muscles according to their nerve innervation and going that way. And we get, very good results with that. And so we developed it. I developed it back in, the mid 90s. And we were, it was basically something that we wanted to try just in our clinic, just so the massage therapist could bill for a treatment versus billing per minute on what they do. And I was going to use it in combination with a chiropractic adjustment. I thought that would be a more complete treatment for the patient. And then the patients came back and were like, hey, we like this, but we think this is doing it. We don't think we need to get adjusted. And so just do this. And so I was like, oh man, I don't know about this. And so I was like, I think I can treat your nervous system in a specific way. So let's see. So I started doing just this, and it was working. And then over another couple of years, I was like, all right, let's take this out. Let's see if we can teach this to other people, and because we're getting such good results with it. And so that's kind of how the myokinesthetic system started from that standpoint. But it was how to get people better quicker. That's been my whole goal. How can we get people better faster? That's basically the gist of it. So if we get into professions, so who do we teach versus who does the Activator Method teach? So the Activator typically primarily has classes for chiropractors because we're moving bones with this technique. So, and it says there's a lot. They say over 70%. Another source says over half of full-time chiropractors use the Activator Method. So it's somewhere between 50 and 75%. That's a lot. That's a lot of chiropractors that do that particular technique. With the myokinesthetic system, because it is soft tissue, we teach a number of different professions. So we teach chiropractors, massage therapists, athletic trainers, physical therapists, occupational therapists. We've had nurses. So we've had a number of different professions that we teach. So if we get into the continuing ed units, it says they have some CEUs offered. I want to see, let me see here. If we go into, do they have classes on here? Students research events. Let's look at events. Oh, it says Japan seminars. Look at that. That'd be kind of cool. Tokyo, Japan. Does it say how many fundamentals and extremities, clinical topics? But it doesn't say how many CEUs it is. Okay. So it says, but I found another source that says they have about 108 CEUs. So with the myokinesthetic system right now, we have about 80. So we have an upper, we have a lower, which is 20 each, and then we have the autonomic nervous system, which is 40. So that's about 80. The CEUs for Activator, so it just says 108. I can't find anything else right now. So okay. And I can't find a cost for what their courses cost. I can't find that. A lot of this, I think they offer it like in the college itself, so they may not have to go out and do classes and stuff. But I'm sure they do. I mean, they have it on there, although it was just in Japan. But anyway, is there not another one? Anyway, all right. So with the myokinesthetic system, let me give you a difference here because I can't find it on the Activator Method as far as what their different pricing details are and things like that. So with the myokinesthetic system, we have an online on-demand course, and I'll just talk upper and lower. So upper and lower body, you can do the online on-demand. You have 1 year access. Once you purchase that, you get access to all the videos, all the information for a full year. It's $4.99 for that. If you do both at the same time, you get a discount. It's $8.79 to get both, and then you get 2 years access to all the information, and all the videos and all the stuff. And so that's the online on demand. Then we have live webinars. So the live webinars are $5.99, and it's the exact same information, except we're doing it live over the computer. This way. And then we have the live in-person classes, and I'm just getting back into the live in-person classes, and so I will come to your facility and teach, so keep that in mind. But those are $6.99 right now. So those are $6.99 for those courses for in-person, because I'm traveling out. I gotta pay for my travel fees and all that kind of stuff. So it costs a little more to have me come to you. All right, so those are the different classes that are offered. I couldn't really find the different topics that this has, although I did see, like in Japan, it said fundamentals and extremities, and then fundamentals and clinical topics. So I don't know what clinical topics, I guess. I don't know what they mean. All right, conditions. So let's look at this. So the Activator Method says that some of the conditions that it treats: back pain, neck pain, extremity complaints, so joint pain in the arms or the legs, TMJ dysfunction, and trigger points in the muscles. Okay. Research suggests that the Activator Method provides comparable benefits to manual manipulation for acute and chronic spinal pain, TMJ dysfunction, and trigger points. It is particularly effective for patients seeking a gentler approach. Nice. Okay. So with the MYK system, we have a little bit more. We have a lot of things that we've gone after with great success. So headaches, phenomenal success with headaches. I always say you can build an entire practice around treating headaches. Migraines is included in that. So carpal tunnel syndrome, rotator cuff issues, frozen shoulder, tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, all kinds of sports injuries. If people come in and say, I feel like I'm losing my grip, plantar fasciitis, sciatica, shin splints, all kinds of knee issues, low back problems, peripheral neuropathy, so any kind of numbness, tingling, burning, shooting, stabbing, pins and needles type pain anywhere in the body, we typically can get rid of that really, really, really fast. And you hear it all across. People go to their medical doctor and they say, hey, I got this numbness, I got this, and they can't. They're like, oh man, that's tough to treat. That's going to be a hard one. We get rid of that really, really fast. So if you have that, you should find somebody who does the MYK system, because more than likely you can get rid of that. So we've treated people with RSD. Now they call it complex regional pain syndrome. 1 or 2 treatments, they're symptom free. Unheard of, I know, but I've even had the head medical doctor at Duke contact me, and he had some people treat it with this, and they use this at Duke. So anyway, and I work with the University of Idaho right now, so in their master's and doctorate program of athletic training. So that's something, that's who's doing the research basically on the technique for me. So if we look at just a technique overview, it says the Activator Method uses a handheld, spring-loaded, or an electronic device to deliver a controlled, low-force impulse, no more than 0.3 joules of kinetic energy, and a 3 millisecond pulse for Activator 5. That's way over my head as far as what all that means. But the treatment typically begins with the patient lying face down, targeting each vertebral segment from the lower back up to the head. It aims to correct vertebral subluxations and apparent leg length discrepancies. It's the second most common chiropractic technique after diversified, widely adopted due to its precision and patient comfort. And then studies indicate comparable effectiveness to manual manipulation for spinal pain and other conditions, with a focus on safety and reproducibility. So the MYK system is a soft tissue treatment that stimulates muscles along a specific nerve pathway to send signals to the brain, rebalancing the nervous system. It avoids bone manipulation, focusing on muscle memory Nah, I wouldn't say that. This is a write-up from the internet. Focusing on muscle memory to improve posture. Well, it's basically we're going to put information into the body and try and do it on one nerve pathway. That information goes up to the brain. The brain receives that information. You got to stand the patient up after the treatment, and the brain goes, hey, all of these muscles had a change, and then it's going to send back signals to say, you got to relax, you got to contract, you got to relax, you got to contract, and you get a shift in the person's posture. And what comes from that is a decrease in pain and an increase in range of motion, and it happens like that. And so we get very, very quick pain relief. That's the first thing that I think you have to do with a patient. Get them out of pain. If you can get them out of pain, then they're going to come back. And so you got to get them out of pain, then you can get them moving, and then you want to make sure that it doesn't come back. And so that's the whole protocol right there. There's the treatment protocol of how to do it. And so our treatments are anywhere from 3 to 15 minutes, depending on the nerve level that you're treating. I didn't get a time frame with Activator. I think it is a little bit more time. It uses a little bit more time than like a regular chiropractic adjustment, because the regular chiropractic adjustment, you can go in and just go, okay, let me find this. Oh, there it is. And, adjust them and get them in, get them out type of thing. From an adjustment standpoint, you can get people in and out fairly quick. Activator is going to take a little bit more time because you're going through, I think, methodically and looking at each segment and doing different tests to figure out which one needs to be adjusted and things like that. So, it does say right here, because again, I got some of this from the internet. It says the popularity of the MYK system is gaining momentum due to its effectiveness, and it is used in professional sports and is under study by several universities. Well, it's mainly one university, but we have trained over 10,000 people. We hit that mark back in 2019, so we hit over 10,000 people trained in the myokinesthetic system. So if we do a little comparison, so it says Arlan is the developer, and it said co-developer in one of the things, so I'd like to know who the other co-developer was. So, but Arlan is the developer for the Activator. I am the developer for the MYK system. He developed it back in 1967. This was done around 1996, and then we started using it in 1997. So his is a handheld instrument delivering low-force impulses to the spine and the extremities. The myokinesthetic system is soft tissue work to stimulate muscles along nerve pathways. Typically, they just teach chiropractors. We teach a number of different professions. They have about 108 CEUs that you can get depending on the different classes that you take, and we have about 80 right now. We're adding more, so there's going to be more coming in probably next year sometime. So they have the it says training formats, and it says virtual training for the Activator Institute, and it says VT. I don't know what that is. Oh, virtual training, VT. I got it. I'm slow, but I got it. All right, and we have hands-on, we have live online, and then we have on-demand. So the different conditions that we treat, we went through that. It says treatment duration. It says with the Activator, it varies, but typically it's short sessions. And ours are really, it's 3 to 15 minutes, and depending on how many treatments it takes. Everybody's different as far as how many treatments it takes, but that goes with any hands-on technique. Everybody's going to be different with that. So it says comparable to the Activator method is comparable to manual manipulation for spinal pain, TMJ, and trigger points. And it says the myokinesthetic system has significant improvements in pain and function, 100 pain resolution in some studies. That's right. Yes, I will agree with that. So, and I think that kind of covers everything that I had. So I'm going to put the information in the comments, in the description. So you guys, if you want to check out the Activator website, or go check out Dr. Arlan's podcast. He's still doing podcast. So I'm going to see if I can get a hold of him and have him on here. That'd be kind of cool. I would love to get the history. That's what I just love the history part of it. So, all right. That was our talk. I got to say this real quick. If you made it this far, smile.